Hello and welcome back. In the previous video practical walkthrough, we have already created our two-way communication RET based on our design here. And now we are going to compile, build it and test it out. So let's click on the start button here to start the build process. So it has completed. Now we can test it out. We will open a command prompt. And then we will use telnet to connect to our local server at port 4444. Hit enter. And now we are connected, and we are going to test all these commands. So assuming we wanted help, so we will press H. So we press H and hit enter, and the server will send back the command menu. So this command menu is coming from here, this string, and you can see how it nicely goes to the new line after every line it goes to the new line. That is because of these escape characters, carriage return line feed, carriage, or also known as carriage return new line. So in Windows, whenever you wanted to simulate an enter key on the keyboard, you will put \R \N. So that's why you are seeing all this in its own separate lines. So now we see from this menu that we have all these available commands at our disposal. So let's test out the first one. We already tested out H for the help. Now we're going to press M to show a message. So we'll press M and hit enter, and look at the bottom. Message box has popped up and displayed hello world. Next, we are going to test B. So let's click in here and then press the B key and hit enter. And you can hear the beep. And now we're going to test the command P to play a sound. So let's click in here again and press P and hit enter. And you hear that? That was the chime sound which we asked the server to play. And now finally, we are going to shut down the server. So we press S and hit enter, and the server has shut down. Okay, now let's test it again. This time we are going to simulate disconnection error from the client. See what happens. So we can click start, let it run again, and we are going to connect to our local host. Let me just clear the screen first. CLS to clear screen, and we are going to telnet to our local host. Press H for the menu. Now we are going to press M for message. So the message box has popped open. It's fine. Now we are going to play a beep sound, and then play a sound file P. And now we are going to suddenly disconnect the client. You see what happens to the server. So how do we disconnect the client? We are just going to close this directly. Alright. So what happens to the server? What happens to the server? Let's see. So the server is still running. So let's see. We can go to our command cmd, hit enter, and we try to connect to it. Telnet localhost 4444, hit enter, and we are still connected. Type H, hit enter, Alright, it doesn't work. So let us try another way. Let us close this here and close this here. Instead of using the debug here, we are going to run the binary itself. So let's go to the folder that contains our project, which is the RET projects folder, to run the binary itself. So we double click this to start our RET, and then we open CMD and we telnet localhost 4444. Okay, now we just press H for the menu and we are going to suddenly close the client. Alright, now we are going to reopen another command prompt and telnet again localhost. Okay, so now we are going to issue the H command for help file and we get back a help. See that? So our server is robust. Press M for message box pops up. P for play sound and sound plays. So you can see now that our server will automatically respond itself whenever the sudden disconnection from the client. Alright, so that is possible because of the perpetual for loop here. So, right, so whenever the client disconnects suddenly, it will be caught by the cleanup code here, and then it will exit the run function. When this run server function exits, it will come back to the for loop here. The for loop will spawn another run server, and so the server can continue to be alive even though the client suddenly disconnects for whatever reason. Right? So the only way you can shut down the server is if you send the S command. If you send the S command and hit enter, the server is shut down. It will not respawn itself anymore. Alright? Why? Because when you send the S command, it's going to call the exit here to close the server itself. Okay? The cleanup code does not have an exit. The cleanup code only cleans the old stream, whatever stream was previously used before the telnet client disconnects. It just cleans that up, but it did not exit. That is why it is possible for this perpetual loop to spawn another server. But once you send a shutdown server command, it will call the exit. So once it calls the exit, the server actually quits. Alright, so now we have a robust server and able to have two-way communication. So now our template is getting better and better as we proceed along. So that's all for this lesson. Thank you for watching.